The air inside the abandoned animation studio was thick with dust and decay. The only sound that echoed through the empty halls was the low hum of the ancient air conditioning unit struggling to push out stale air. The sign above the entrance read, "Chilling Tales Animated. Dive into the world of horror stories." It was a place that once brought delight and fright to audiences worldwide, but now it was nothing more than a relic of a bygone era. The studio had been closed for years after a series of mysterious disappearances plagued the staff. Rumors circulated that the building was haunted, that the spirits of the characters created within its walls had come to life and sought revenge on those who dared to disturb their slumber. But despite the warnings, a group of urban explorers had decided to investigate the abandoned studio, searching for clues to the dark secrets that lay buried within. Among the group was Sarah, a young journalist with a penchant for the macabre. She had heard stories about Chilling Tales Animated since she was a child, tales of twisted characters and horrifying plots that had kept her awake at night. Now, standing in the dilapidated lobby of the studio, she felt a thrill of excitement mixed with dread as she prepared to uncover the truth behind the legends. As the group ventured deeper into the studio, they found themselves surrounded by remnants of the past. Tattered posters of animated monsters lined the walls, their eyes seeming to follow the intruders with malevolent intent. The animation cells scattered across the floor seemed to pulsate with a life of their own, as if the characters within were waiting for the perfect moment to break free. Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, that something unseen was lurking in the shadows, biding its time. She urged the others to keep moving, to find whatever secrets the studio held before it was too late. But as they delved deeper into the labyrinthine corridors, it became clear that they were not alone. A chilling breeze swept through the hallway, sending shivers down Sarah's spine. The group pressed on, their footsteps muffled by the thick layer of dust covering the floor. In the dim light of their flashlights, they could see movement in the darkness, fleeting glimpses of shapes that seemed to defy logic. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the silence, causing the group to freeze in terror. They turned to see one of their own, a young man named Alex, being dragged into a shadowy alcove by an unseen force. Sarah's heart pounded in her chest as she watched in horror, unable to move as the darkness enveloped him. Without a second thought, Sarah dashed forward, determined to save her friend from whatever malevolent entity had claimed him. She rounded the corner just in time to see Alex's face contorted in agony as he vanished into thin air, leaving behind only a faint whisper of a warning. "Leave this place before it's too late." Sarah's hands trembled as she reached out into the darkness, searching for any sign of her friend. But all she found was emptiness, a void that seemed to swallow her whole. The group stood frozen in shock, unsure of what to do next. But Sarah knew that they had to escape, that whatever haunted the studio was far more dangerous than they could have imagined. As they made their way back towards the entrance, the building seemed to come alive with malicious intent. The walls groaned and creaked, the floorboards shifting beneath their feet as if trying to trip them up. Sarah could feel eyes watching her from every corner, a sensation that made her skin crawl. Just as they reached the lobby, a deafening roar echoed through the building, shaking the very foundations of the studio. The group turned to see a monstrous figure emerging from the shadows, its twisted features contorted in a grotesque parody of a smile. It was one of the characters from Chilling Tales Animated, brought to life in a way that defied all reason. Sarah knew that they were no match for the malevolent force that now stood before them. With a steely resolve, she turned to her companions and spoke with a voice that betrayed no fear. "We have to get out of here. Now." The group ran as fast as their legs could carry them, the monstrous entity hot on their heels. The studio seemed to shift and warp around them, the walls twisting and turning as if trying to trap them within its grasp. But Sarah refused to give up, to let the darkness claim them as it had so many others. Just as they reached the entrance, a blinding light filled the lobby, illuminating the figure of a man standing before them. He was clad in ancient robes, his eyes burning with righteous fury as he faced the abomination that threatened to consume them all. "I am the guardian of Chilling Tales Animated," he declared, his voice echoing through the studio like thunder. "You have awakened forces beyond your understanding, but I will not allow them to spread their darkness any further." With a wave of his hand, the Guardian unleashed a wave of energy that engulfed the monstrous entity, banishing it back to the depths from which it had come. The studio trembled once more, but this time with a sense of finality. As the group emerged from the building, they watched in awe as the ancient structure crumbled to dust before their eyes. The spirits of Chilling Tales Animated finally laid to rest. Sarah felt a sense of closure wash over her, a deep satisfaction at having faced the terrors that had haunted her for so long. As they made their way back to the safety of the outside world, Sarah knew that the experience would stay with her forever. The mysteries of Chilling Tales Animated had been unraveled, the horrors contained within finally put to rest. And though the studio may have fallen into ruin, its legacy would live on in the hearts of those who dared to tread its haunted halls.